Hey everyone, welcome back to my hand lettering series. I know that it's been a little minute since I posted the last video, about 7 months actually, and I didn't mean for that to happen, but things just occur. So I'm glad to be back doing this video here for you guys today. If you haven't already watched the previous video, I would recommend that you go ahead and do that, and even before that I recommend that you watch my faux calligraphy and how to fake it video, and I will leave both of those videos just up here in the cards for you guys, so make sure to check those out first. So in this video we've only got a few things to cover, and it's a very simple video, but I think it's very relevant and I don't want to waste too much time here, so let's get right into it. Alright, so as I said, in this video I'm going to be talking about some terminology and start to introduce the line structure that makes up modern hand lettering. We're going to start out very basic with simple lettering exercises that will get us practicing our upstrokes and downstrokes in actual lettering, and in the next video we'll get a little bit more in depth. Just before we get into that, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of paper pads that are helpful when working with our line structure and in learning and practicing hand lettering. The first one is this gridded paper pad that is super inexpensive. I think I paid $3.90 something for it on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can find something similar anywhere stationery is sold, like Walmart or any type of department store like that. Just keep in mind though that this paper won't have the smoothest texture for using with your brush markers, and it may wear out your brush markers a little bit more quickly than with a better quality paper. It's not really rough or anything, but it is just a regular paper. And that brings me to the next paper pad that I absolutely love, which is this dot pad right here. This one is super smooth and super nice quality, but you will pay a little bit more for it, so keep that in mind. I paid, I think, $14.99 for it on Amazon, and this is a high grade vellum. So as I said, it's super smooth, which makes it way easier on your brush markers. If you're using water brushes or just a brush and ink or watercolors, it's not as much of a concern. But both of these options are great for practicing, and they're really great later on when you are more advanced and you start to plan out your hand lettering designs. You can also use printer paper. You don't really need a special pad, although they are really helpful, but just make sure that if you're going to use printer paper, again, that it's a good quality printer paper, since that will be much smoother, and don't use just a very cheap copy paper because that will fray your marker tips much faster. So now let's get into today's tutorial. First, if you haven't watched the first video in this series, which was learning the basic practice drills, and then you practice them and practice them and practice those, then I recommend that you go back and watch that video first and then do lots of practicing based on those lessons. I'll link that video in the cards, and then come back to this video once you've done that. Furthermore, if you haven't watched my faux calligraphy video yet, then I would recommend that you first start there before even doing the practice drills video, because faux calligraphy is the best place to start learning hand lettering. So I'll also link that one in the cards. So I want you to watch the faux calligraphy tutorial first, then the first video in this series for the basic drills. Got it? Alright, now let's move on. So I'm going to draw and label a few lines that make up the structure for our hand lettering. There are other lines to learn, but we're going to start with these few, and then we'll learn the other lines in the next video. We'll only need these few for today's lesson. As I'm drawing this line structure out, it'll probably seem pretty familiar to you from school when you learned to write your alphabet and practice sentences, and then later on when you learned cursive writing. So we've got 3 lines spaced evenly apart for our purposes today. Sometimes these line spacing does vary, but ours will be evenly spaced, beginning with a solid line, followed by a dashed line in the middle, and topped off with another solid line. So this is the basic line structure that all of our letters will be fitting in today. Now let's go over the terminology so when it's used in future videos in the series, there won't be any confusion. The first, which is the bottom line, is referred to as the baseline. This line is where most all your letters will sit until we start breaking the rules in a couple of videos from now. The second line, which is the middle line, is called the X height. This is where the tops of the main body of lowercase letters normally sit. It's based on the height of the lowercase x. And the final line we'll learn today, the top line in this case, is called the cap height. This is the usual height of capital letters. So that's it for the line structure and terminology we're going to need for today. Now you see I've copied several rows of this line structure for our lettering exercises. In the next part of this video, we're going to begin with some very basic hand lettering. I'm going to show you simple caps using our upstrokes and downstrokes rule, which you learned in previous videos. And again, I've prepared worksheets you can print out for practice of each letter I'm showing you today. So you can find those over on my blog, and I'll have that linked in the description for you guys. This style may seem very basic and maybe even boring to you, but it's really great practice. As I've mentioned before in the previous video, each letter becomes a drill in itself. And this style is often paired with some more ornate script style hand lettering that I know you're all itching to get into, so don't dismiss this. We'll get to those more elaborate letters in the next video, I promise. Today I'm going to be using my Tombow dual-ended brush pens for this video. I'll link to those in the description if you're interested and you don't already have some, but you can also use water brushes and watercolor paints as I have in previous videos, or a small brush and drawing ink if you'd prefer either of those. Whatever hand lettering tools you prefer, just use that. I just wanted to use something different in this video than in previous, and these brush pens are really great for beginners. So I'm just going to run through each letter of the alphabet. I'll do the first few along with you to get you started, but then I'll leave you on your own to watch and follow along the rest of the letters, and then I'll talk to you again after we reach the letter Z, or Z. Okay, so starting with the letter A, what else? We're getting a great refresher, starting at your baseline with a thin upstroke to the top of your A, a thick downstroke down the other side back to the baseline, and then crossing your A at the X height. Horizontal strokes are always thin, as we learned in the last video. So that's super easy. Thin upstroke, thick downstroke, and a thin crossbar. Moving on to B, you start at the top of your cap height with a thick downstroke, really simple, and then start back at the cap height for the first bump from thin to thick and back to thin at the X height, and then repeat that for the second bump ending at the baseline. Now C's are a little bit different since you won't start at any one of your lines. So with C, you'll start on the right side of your letter between the X height and the cap height in an upstroke toward the left, and then once you reach the cap height, transition it into a curved downstroke all the way down to the baseline, and then back into an upstroke to finish the C between the baseline and the X height. Next, D's are very simple. A downstroke from the cap height to the baseline, and then thin horizontal quickly into a thick downstroke to finish with a quick, thin horizontal stroke at the baseline. Hopefully that's clear, but you can see what I'm doing. Next, E's are super simple, no explanation needed, I feel, and F's are the same idea. So I think having watched the previous tutorial and practicing your drills, you can handle the rest of the alphabet from here by just watching what I do. Just remember that when you have letters with at least two vertical or diagonal stems, like an A or an H or an M or an N, for example, that you alternate between upstrokes and downstrokes, even if you wouldn't normally write the letter that way in everyday writing. So normally I would write a capital H with a downstroke, a crossbar, and then another downstroke in everyday writing. But for hand lettering, I do a thick downstroke, my crossbar, and then an upstroke just to add visual interest and contrast. Alright, so continue on your way as I said, and I'll talk to you again once we reach the letter Z. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. I hope that you guys really liked it, and don't forget to head over to my blog to print out those worksheets. They're great practice. And as I mentioned, I'll leave that link down in the description for you guys. In the next video, we'll be covering a little bit more terminology and the rest of the line structure, and we will get into the more script style hand lettering that I know you guys are really wanting to get into. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that you guys are too. I hope you all have a super awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!